Ladies, do you feel like you're busy all day long and you're still not making enough money? Well, this is the real problem, and I'm going to show you how to fix it. Hi, my name's Sandy Glant. I'm a high performance productivity coach, busy working mama of two, wife, best-selling author, TV host, and we're going to dive in today to the number one problem that I see busy working moms focusing on, but not making moves, not making enough money. We're going to dive into the real problem today. So buckle up, take a seat, get a notepad ready, because we're going to dive in and I'm going to show you how to change this today. Let's dive in. So if you feel like you are busy from morning until night, you are checking all the boxes, you have a laundry list of to-dos, you're answering messages, you're juggling the kids, juggling the business, and everything in between, but your income hasn't changed, I've got some news for you. This episode is for you, and I'm going to show you exactly how to identify those big money moves that I love sharing and talking about and how we're going to fix this. Because I don't know about you, but I am a working mama who wants intentional quality time with my kids, with my husband, for myself. And I'm not willing to sacrifice just being busy all day long, but not seeing the payoff in what it shows in my bank account. Because the problem here isn't your efforts. Okay. I just want you to know that, number one. And it's definitely not your work ethic. So I'm going to dive in and share with you the 3 shifts that you can make to increase income without working more. I share this with my clients all the time. And there's these little tweaks, these little shifts that you can make that are going to make a massive difference. As a matter of fact, I just got off a call with one of my clients right now, and we dialed in 3 of her big money moves to do every single day. And I'm happy to report back that she has 8x her business over the last 3 months. So I'm going to share this with you today. I hope you're taking notes. I hope you actually can go in and make these tweaks, because you already are working hard enough, but we have to have the right strategy. By the way, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the Slay Your Day podcast. Every single week, we are dropping new episodes with myself and guest speakers that are bringing you all the tips and tricks and hacks on how to slay your day your way. And by the way, if you haven't already, you can grab Slay Your Way on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Lulu. We'll link everything below. This is the playbook, the roadmap on how to slay your day on your way that feels good and right and fulfilling to you. So check that out. We'll link it below. So before I dive into these 3 shifts that are really going to help you increase your income without having to work more or harder, is I just want to acknowledge you and let you know that right now, you're probably working constantly. You probably feel exhausted and overwhelmed, and you probably still aren't seeing consistent income growth. And that's your sign right now. If you feel like you're just constantly moving and busy and you don't see an ROI on that, good news. We're going to fix that today, because busy does not equal productive, and busy also doesn't equal income. So today I'm going to break down for you the 3 shifts that you can make to really hone in on what's going to move the ball forward for you. By the way, I also have another training that I keep referencing called the Big Money Moves training. If you want to grab that training for yourself, just head over to sandraglant.com/big money. And I'm going to break that down for you and share with you what your big money moves are so you can see progress every single day. So if you are working constantly, if you are mentally feeling exhausted, just that mental load of feeling like you have to do it all and not seeing the growth, the consistent income growth from all of those tasks that you're doing, it's going to create guilt. It's going to create frustration. This is going to create a belief that something that you're doing is wrong. This is what I want to share with you. You're not failing. You're just focusing on the wrong work. And we're going to shift that today. We're going to change that today, because the real problem is that you're busy, but not in revenue producing activities. That's what the big money moves are. Okay. So I'm going to share with you today some of the different money moves, the big money moves that you can start incorporating into your day. I would highly suggest that you actually have this at the beginning of your day. This should be the thing that you're prioritizing, not the thing that's like maybe I get to this. It's a nice to have. This should be a non-negotiable in your business, in your workday every single day. And guess what? Want to hear the good news? If you only have an hour a day, you can do this. I used to do this in the pockets of time when my boys were little, when they were taking naps, just like in those little pockets, especially like when they're newborn babies and you don't have a lot of time to go back to back hours. Now they're older, so they're in school. They're both in school, and so I get a good 4 or 5 hours of consistent work where before it was broken up, maybe between breastfeeding or nap time or whatever was going on in the day. So the good news is that we do have and we can identify what are those revenue producing activities for you. And we're going to get into that right now. Ladies, can I be real with you? I'm 38. I get Botox. I'm a busy mom and I do not have time for a 10-step skincare routine. That's why I'm obsessed with Liviand. It's a simple 4-step skincare system that actually works. It starts with a purifying cleanser. It removes the day, the makeup, and the mom life chaos, leaving my skin clear and fresh. Then I go to the vitamin C brightening serum. Instant glow even when I've had zero sleep. Next, I use the hyaluronic restoration cream, a total hydration boost that keeps my skin plump and smooth all day long. And finally, the firming cream. This one's the secret sauce. It visibly tightens, plumps, and renews your skin with the soursop leaf and fruit extracts, the dual peptides, and fruit stem cells. Basically, it helps me stretch those beauty appointments for months. Because as we know, moms deserve skincare that's simple, effective, and makes us feel amazing in our skin. Head to soursopnutrition.com and check out the Liviand Skin Care System. And don't forget, use code SANDY20 for 20% off your purchase. Liviand Skincare, aging on your terms. So before I dive into the 3 shifts that are going to help you to increase your income without more work, is that right now, and I'm just going to take a wild guess, you may be spending time on content without a strategy. You may be spending time on all the admin tasks. You may be spending time on just like having conversations, giving free advice, but actually not being compensated for them. And you also may be over preparing instead of selling and working with a plan. Well, we're going to break that today, and we're going to break down exactly what you can be doing to be in your big money moves, even if it's only an hour a day, because busy doesn't equal profitable. And the number one thing that I always share with my clients, especially my one-on-one clients, the girls in the High Performance Academy, is that profit comes from a very small set of intentional actions. It doesn't have to be these big mountain moving activities that you're doing every single day. At least it's not going to feel like that, but it's going to come from very intentional, strategic, small actions that you do consistently. And again, you can do this in an hour a day. So the busy mom, this is where I want to break this down. The busy mom versus the money work breakdown. And this is where the magic happens. Okay. And so I want to give you some ideas of what the busy work looks like versus the money work and what that looks like. So the busy work is just when you're in tweaking mode. You're just trying to tweak every little thing. Maybe it's funnels, maybe it's emails, and you're just endlessly in tweaking mode instead of execution mode. You may be consuming more content instead of implementing content. I always love to tell my clients, and I have to give myself this reminder, is to use social media instead of having it use you or it consume you. So create more than you consume, and you'll be on a good path if you know that you're in there to create, get in there, and get out, right? Because sometimes we can get lost down that rabbit hole. So it's really important that you come from a creator mindset instead of a consumer mindset. The next thing is, are you answering your emails all day long? If you are, I would highly, highly, highly recommend one of 2 things: either getting a VA or someone that can get in there and only get the things to you that you need to see, or give yourself blocks. So for instance, maybe the beginning and the end of the day are the only two times you're checking emails, or beginning and middle. But don't be overly consumed with being in your inbox and just being in responsive mode, because the inbox is where people are coming to find you, where they probably need something from you, versus you being in that creator, big money move, action taking mode. Okay. There's a big shift there. And then just saying yes to everything, saying yes to every call, every request, every email. We just have to shift out of that, because all of these things are in busy work mode. Okay. So we want to shift from busy into productive, or what I like to say, which is the money making moves. Okay. And so the money making moves, the list of items that I'm going to give you, I just want you to know it doesn't, like, this is not the end all be all. There are many other things that fall under money making moves than just the 4 or 5 that I'm going to give you. However, these should be in somewhere in your power hour of the day, somewhere in your at least minimum of 60 minutes that you are intentionally working in these needle moving activities that are going to help you to move the ball forward. So what are they? What are some of these big money making moves? Lead generation. I literally just got off a client right now, and her lead gen was very, very simple. We broke it down into 3 things. It was following up with clients from the past year that had booked with her in that same season. It was looking at her open and her click rates in her CRM to see, as she's sending emails out, who's clicking, who's opening, who's engaging. And then engagement on social media, giving yourself 20 to 30 minutes to send someone a comment, like a post, respond in the DMs, right? Like, all of that engagement is really, it's working for you, right? So that lead gen can come in many different forms. But again, I just wanted to give you like a in real time example of something that this client is working on, given her industry. It's actually in the events business. But this is something that she can rinse and repeat every single day. She can rinse and repeat this. Her team can rinse and repeat this. And it's something that the work is going to work for her. Okay. Sales conversations, being in the DMs, being on phone calls, looking through your application forms. Do you have a very clear sales flow and process and system where you know where your new or next clients are coming in from? Okay. This is really important. We have this in many different forms through lead magnets, application forms, CRM, waiting lists. So this might be jogging your memory and saying, wow, like maybe I should get a wait list open for my program, course, coaching, whatever it is. Maybe I need a lead magnet where I can constantly be checking in and seeing who's signing up, downloading, engaging with that. Okay. You also have to offer clarity. You need a very clear system or A to B, right? Like, what is that problem that you solve? So people know exactly what they're coming to you for. Okay. So there has to be offer clarity in exactly what your product or service is. If there is not clarity, there's confusion and nobody buys. You'll have no buyers if nobody understands what that transformation, transition, or service or product will do for them. Okay. So offer clarity is so important. And then your follow-up system. As I mentioned with the lead gen, follow up should be happening every single day. Okay. And as you're rinsing and repeating your lead gen and your follow-up and your engagement, this list for you is going to be building. You should be tracking exactly where these conversations are coming in from, who you're engaging with, who's on these lists. It shouldn't be in 20 different places. You should have one centralized place for this follow-up system and for your lead gen. Okay. So all of this to say, if your calendar doesn't reflect your income goals, your income won't change. I'm going to say that again. If your calendar doesn't reflect your income goals, then your income won't change. So what you're doing every single day has to be income producing activities, meaning having conversations, following up, looking at the stats, looking at the analytics, having a very clear system in place, right? Because it's not just going to happen. Like, if clients were just going to fall from the sky and magically sign up for your programs, like, that would be great. But the work has to come from you. But when you do the work works, right? So this is what we need to be focusing on. And part of this also is breaking old patterns, old conditioning, and reframing exactly what it is that you need to do. Like I mentioned, you can do this in an hour a day or less. I would also be encouraging you to get your team to get involved with this so you can double or triple or even more the outreach, the outbound, the communication that you have with this, because these shifts are not only going to increase your income, but now everything that you're creating gets to expand as well. The opportunities, the visibility, there's so much more that comes from this than just the income. So I want you to be ready and getting not just getting ready, but staying ready in the process, so you know exactly what you have to be doing every single day as a non-negotiable. Can we just talk about how bedtime used to be for us? Oh my gosh, you guys, I was hanging off one side of the bed. My kids were laying sideways across the entire bed. And my husband, he was literally falling off the bed. Don't even get me started on the stiff necks. We were actually at the chiropractor more than we were sleeping. We just thought that we had to deal with it until we found Alaskan King bed. Now we can actually co-sleep without the kids kicking us all night long. Everyone has plenty of space, and my husband finally stays in the bed. And we all wake up feeling refreshed, like we actually slept the whole night, because we did. If you're a growing family like us, this bed is a total game changer. More space equals more snuggles, less stress, and so much more quality time. And that was the true reason why we fell in love with this bed. Trust me, you will never go back. So head on over to AlaskanKingBeds.com and use code SANDY for a discount. Wishing you and your family sweet dreams from my family to yours. Make sure you head over to AlaskanKingBeds.com. Now, a few key points that I want to make here. Effort is not the same as leverage, okay? And when I talk about leverage, this is where the systems come into play. This is where the strategy comes into play. This is where your systems get to work for you, so you don't have to be working 24 hours a day, right? Like, I surely do not want to be working 24 hours. I want to be with my kids. I want to be plugged into, cooking dinners with the kids. You guys see this on my Instagram, going to the park, taking them out for activities. Your systems should be helping you and supporting you when you're not plugged in, okay? And so at this point, if you don't have systems, you are trading time for money, okay? And the growth will stall. And all of this is happening because unless you're the one or someone on your team is working, during that time, then the work stops. But the high performance women that are inside the academy and learning these different systems and strategies, they are leveraging their time. They have repetition. They have systems that sell even when they're offline, when they're with their kids, when they're, in the park, when they're working out, when they're getting their hair or their nails done. So this is where you get to leverage the systems that you're building into your business. So all of this implementation. Now let's talk about how to fix it. Okay. So the 3 shifts that increase income without working more. The first shift that I want you to be focusing on are identifying your revenue drivers. What does this mean? What actually makes money in your business? You have to know what this is, okay? So eliminate everything else. If you know in that power hour call, you are actively responding to DMs, prospective clients, people who are engaging with your content, opening your emails, right? You have to know what is making you money in your business. Not everything deserves your time. That's why I started this podcast, this episode with, we shouldn't be living in our inbox 24/7. We shouldn't be doing every single task that people throw at us, because not everything is created equal. Okay. So only focusing on what moves the needle. And by the way, this should be a weekly audit. Like when you get to the end of the week and you're like, okay, these things drain me, didn't produce any income, didn't move the needle further, those things get eliminated or delegated. And by the way, I just did an entire training on this, an hour training with like a 67-page do, delegate, delete checklist to all the girls in the High Performance Academy to start getting these non-needle moving activities off their plate so they can focus on those revenue drivers. Okay. So that is shift number one. Identify your revenue drivers. Shift number two is time block for your income producing activities first. Again, this should be a non-negotiable. If you do nothing else, make sure that you prioritize this. And this is done in an hour a day. Like if all you did was this, you would see progress. If all you did was time block for your income producing activities for 1 hour a day, you would start making more income and seeing more results. Okay. So this is your sales, your outreach, your follow-ups before anything else, before making the content, before checking the inbox, before any of the other to-do lists that you have that are calling and vying for your attention, right? Like when you're in work mode, focus on this first and time block it. Okay. Revenue does not happen accidentally. It is scheduled and it has to be protected. Okay. So protect these blocks, protect this like in a doctor's appointment, protect this like a hair appointment, right? Like I would even ask you, are you guarding the space on your calendar and prioritizing your hair or your nail appointments more than you're prioritizing your income producing activity appointments? I mean, that should be an aha moment right there. Okay. So this right here, I want you to commit 60 minutes a day to this time block for only income producing activities and watch how much further and faster your income builds and grows and expands because you put this first. All right. Shift three, the final shift that I have for you that will help you to increase your income without spending more time or more energy or more effort is to build simple systems that can repeat themselves. This is one of the core pillars of the High Performance Academy: clear offer, clear lead flow, and a clear follow-up system. Because your systems, this is the beautiful thing. This is why I love and talk about systems so much as a busy working mom, is because systems create consistency. And consistency creates income. And the more consistent you can be with your follow up, with your offer, with your power hour, okay, with your revenue drivers, this is what's going to produce your income producing activities and your income where you now can come from a place of freedom and abundance, right? It's not going to be in all of these busy tasks. It's going to be on the predictable, scalable activities that you know are going to be your income drivers, okay? So right now, I want you to shift your mindset and I want you to change the mindset into making sure that you can implement this onto your calendar. Like right now, you might be watching this on YouTube, listening to this on a podcast. I want you to pull up your computer. I want you to pull up your calendar and I want you to mark this off every single day, 1 hour a day, Monday through Friday. Okay. Monday through Friday for your power hour, because high earning moms don't try to do everything. We know what's important. We know where we say yes, where we say no, what we show up for, and what's important. Okay. You also get to decide what not to do and protect your energy. Protect your energy, protect the time with your babies. It's so funny because, whether it's my parents or grandparents or friends or strangers, like I'm sure you've heard this before where people are like, enjoy the time now. It goes by so fast. And my response to them every single time is, I am in it and it feels fast. So I know, I understand. I understand the time and the scarcity of time and really the value, right? Because that's what this is. This is the value of time. So if you are not showing up where it matters most to leverage that time that you have to protect this so fiercely. And so with that being said, if this is a struggle for you, or if you're still trying to figure out, how do I increase my income without doing more? I'm hearing you, Sandy. This all sounds great, but like, where do I start? Or how do I expand where I'm at? Like I said, I have plenty of clients who come here, end up double, tripling. Again, I have another client who 8x her business in a very short period of time. And by the way, like, those results happen when you decide you're ready for that to happen. When the mindset is right, when the action is right, it doesn't happen just by accident. Like this client put in the work, she showed up, and she decided, she made a decision to make that shift and show up and put in the work. This is exactly what we build inside the High Performance Academy. This is what we focus on, what we implement, the systems, the strategies, the support. It is all there. So I'm going to link this, the Academy, the High Performance Academy, for you below. I'm actually going to put a link, but I'm going to put a link to the waitlist. So if you're really interested about learning how to put these systems in place, get the right strategy in place, have the support, I'm going to put the information for the waitlist, but I'm also, for the action takers, I'm going to put my email. And if you're like, Sandy, I want to learn exactly how to do this. What am I checking? What's a CRM? How am I checking the right, the open rates and the click rates and the newsletters and all the things, the lions and tigers and bears? I'm going to show you in a very simple, easy way how to do this, but you have to be willing to, number one, be committed, and number two, be willing to invest in this future version of yourself. So I will put the waitlist information below. I'm going to put my email below. And if you're interested in making this commitment to really focus on shifting exactly what you're doing to increase your income without working harder, you can reach out to me, you can email me, and we'll have a conversation about either working together one-on-one or what an invitation would look like for you inside the High Performance Academy, okay? Because you don't need to work harder. Please hear me loud and clear. You do not need to work harder. You need to work on the right things consistently. And when you do that, that's where the magic happens. So I hope this episode was helpful for you today. I hope that you can really get in there and implement these 3 shifts, because if you do this, everything will change. However, if you want some more systems, strategy, support, I'm here to help you and support you. I can't wait to have a conversation with you so you can implement this into your own business, into your own home, and see the magic unfold. As always, ladies, I hope you go out and slay your day your way.